Good afternoon. Apologies, we are running slightly late. We were extensively testing Callaway golf balls, Johnny Wunder.
And a deep dive rabbit hole golf ball test with you hitting balls into a wall. And it was very interesting what we learned. Yeah.
Welcome. Good to see you, pal.
Good to be here.
Great to see you.
Yes, sir.
When you do things like that, just quickly just touch on that because it's on my mind there. A lot of people talk about the validation of being outdoor versus indoor. What do you think when you see a test like that shapes up that way, and we won't give it away because we want you lovely people to watch it, the video. What do you think when you see that, indoor versus outdoor?
They're pretty close. I mean, I always love testing outdoors because you get to see the ball fly and this and that. But you know, the numbers are the numbers. I mean, they're not going to be too far off. Hitting balls outside versus hitting balls in a fitting bay. But I think for the player, most importantly, because we don't have access to foresight and TrackMan and stuff like that. I mean, you know, when you're hitting outside, you actually get to see the ball fly and what it does into the wind, and there's all those little nuances of being outside. But what I was really excited about watching you is just to see you as the player react to each feel of each golf ball and what it was doing. Golf ball tests to me are always the most fascinating things to watch. So whether we're indoors or outdoors. So.
Definitely. Well, I mean, we're going to keep hammering it home until the point where people, you know, stop going. We stop asking the question of what ball do you play, whatever's in my bag. That answer is all too common right now, and I understand price point is a major factor in this whole thing, but we want to be more mindful and cognizant of the performance benefits of playing the right ball. Well,
yeah, I'd rather have them say, you know, if you ask somebody what golf ball they play, say I play Callaway Chrome Soft X, for example, you know, usually because everybody's goal is the same, everybody wants to play better. Well, then why don't you at least know that one part of your bag that you can control, which is your golf ball.
I've seen it from players where they'll be like, you know, they'll use a two-piece golf ball or something that is a little bit softer but not on the premium end of the scale, and you'd hear them, they'll go, oh, you know what, I'm going to buy the premium balls for my tournament, or I'm going to do this. And the next thing you know, they're spinning it more, they're like short on every shot, and they're like, what is going on? It's like, well, you were accustomed, even if you use the same ball all the time, you were accustomed to using the same one every single time on every single shot. Next thing you know, you're short on everything. Now, you get a little more feel around the greens, but you completely messed up your entire golf bag.
Well, yeah, and most of the time what I see players, not on tour because they're pretty dialed, but you know, just in general, golfers typically don't play with enough spin. They might have spin in the driver and this and that, but they'll have a golf ball that doesn't spin at all, and they can't figure out why the ball's not staying in the air, why they can't control it. It's because the golf ball doesn't want to work for you. So
the 18-year-old version of me, very well, I had no money at the time, right? That would put it that way. Played my club championship, 36-hole stroke play championship. Played the first 6 holes with Pro V1s. 6th hole, snap hooked a Pro V1 into the out of bounds, was petrified to lose any more. Put the sleeve away, used a Top Flight XL 2000 exceptional spin.
Pounding it.
Unbelievable golf ball. Won the club championship by 10 shots. But for me at the time, that's a true story, and at the time I remember thinking, like, I felt so much less pressure playing a Pro V1. So I can understand why people put such a premium on the value or the price of the golf ball, because it was like, honestly, the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders because I had 2 more Pro V1s. I had, you know, 30 holes left to play, and the chances of just losing that sleeve of golf balls were at the forefront of my mind. I didn't want that anymore.
I believe 100% you have less pressure when you use a cheaper golf ball. Because I mean, if you lose one, okay, it is what it is, but those Pro Vs are expensive.
Yeah, I mean, premium golf balls are expensive. I mean, but if I would rather you spend a couple extra bucks on your golf ball than get a brand new set of clubs and a new driver every year. I mean, we're golf. We want to sell golf clubs. We're Callaway, but I'd rather you drop more coin on the performance of your golf ball than.
Well, I think Titleist had dropped some nuggets to us, and you know, from their research was that the average golfer buys 4 dozen golf balls a year. So whether you're buying on the cheaper end or the higher end, really the net of the savings is fairly negligible.
We're talking about $50.
And even if you want to say that the average golfer gets 8 dozen golf balls, it goes to $100. Right? It's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. The garbage that at times people waste their money on, it's not much. To your point.
Yeah, maybe you don't need that towel that you buckle onto your belt for $60. I mean, maybe you could buy a couple of dozen golf balls.
But you do need a groove it brush. Buy one of those. Mikey loves that.
And
Isn't that guy from Canada?
And a TXG towel.
Isn't that guy from Canada? The River Brush guy?
What the guy does their marketing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Guerrilla
And you know what? You could save all the money you tried on those extra distance tees.
Yeah. Save your money in those.
Wait, is that a real thing though? Is the extra distance? Is that a real thing?
Watch our video.
Yeah.
Well, you were there. What is it? The same day at Orange
Yeah,
Street?
we were there.
No, you'd arrived just after we had tested that. No, it's not a real thing.
Okay.
It's a completely fake thing. In our eyes, in our testing, we didn't find it to be of any benefit.
No.
Other than we did say that the little rubber piece on top that holds a golf ball has a little bit more hold to it, so if you're a little bit shaky from a couple of pops the night before, quite good from that perspective.
Okay, so make no mistake, a couple of years ago when I wasn't hitting the ball very far, I was looking into those speed tees.
Yeah. All right, let's dive on in there. Ian and Mikey, how are the 14 RM blades, RM forged blades? They're in the bag.
Lovely.
They're in the bag. We're not going to spoil it because we're going to do a video on them. But they're very, very nice. Put it that way.
It looks spectacular.
Did you know that I have a long-lasting relationship with 14 Golf? Marcy, who's not there anymore, who now works for Tour Concept or Proto Concept, used to be
Their stuff
guy.
looks good.
I've known him for like 15 years. So like before WRX, I always had only 14 stuff. That was
Their
a 14.
wedges were good.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff.
Love it.
It's not cheap.
No. These.
I still got one of your old 5 woods, I think.
Is that right?
You're 14.
Yeah, the all black one.
Yeah, you want it back? I'll bring it to you.
With the Fuji 90 in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good call.
It's RB, someone asking if you have any pull at
True temper.
True temper?
Guess it's true.
Oh, the
temper.
hat?
They need to make larger hat sizes, please.
Oh, this is a True Linkswear. That's I don't know if that's
Maybe it's True Linkswear. Jesse, let us
I don't
know.
know
Is
if
it True Temper or True Linkswear?
They say if it fits his head,
If
trust
I have
me.
a huge head. Like my head is massive.
And you've got feet like a duck. So
Yeah, and this thing, I mean, it's still on the there's still 3
They got
little
some
tags
real
left, but
estate
yeah.
there, yeah.
I mean, there's not many people that have a bigger head than I do.
Me and you both got pretty good True Links connections, don't we?
Linkswear, yeah, True
Who's your guy,
Linkswear
Cody?
is what he's saying.
No, I just
True
ordered them.
Links. What did I say? True Links.
I just ordered them.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yeah, man.
you're a Jordan's man now.
Yeah.
Huh? You're a Nike Jordan's man now.
I'm a Chevron Callaway guy. We don't talk about my
footwear.
secret Jordans.
Your secret. Well, not so a secret now. How many people are watching? Enough to let the secret be out. John is asking, do softer golf balls go straighter because of less spin axis tilt? Can this be tested?
Yeah. We're gonna watch the video that we did with Ian Fraser on the Chrome Soft family of golf balls. You're gonna see that firsthand. Perfect example. Actually, you'll see in the video.
Love it. Love it, love it.
Well, that worked out.
That was timely. Timely. Jesse's got a big noggin. He's on the last button and it's tight. Squeezing the brain from Jesse.
Oh man.
Smart boy.
Lots
Well, y'all
of
get a
brains in
lot
there,
of
Jesse.
questions on these little things, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Holy moly.
This ain't no hobby, J-Dub.
It's no hobby. Look at big country in there.
Big country, that's a big lad. Want to play a shaft, playing line 46, want it to be as light as possible, you and me both. Hold its flex at that length and be legal. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing back to, Accra TZ 550X tipped 1.5 inches is what the current weapon is in my brand new Callaway driver. And I also have it in a Cobra driver as well.
Isn't that a cool looking
And the
shaft
cool-
in that driver? That's like the perfect.
Oh no, that you're thinking of the RPG 462.
The RPG,
Yeah,
yes, which could be the coolest looking driver ever made.
So there's a bunch of companies now making a 50 gram X. I mean, Ventus Black comes in 50X.
Tensei 1K.
Yeah, 1K does a TX, which is really, really good. I actually should experiment.
They're gonna have PD and
Try
P-
those Archos.
PD and TB are gonna come in 50TX.
There we go.
There you go.
TB, what a shaft.
Hmm?
TB, what a shaft.
TB.
Zach Bird asked, could y'all do a video comparing the forgiving models from the direct-to-consumer brands?
Saw that
Haywood, Tacoma, Sub 70.
I would say we get a lot of these questions, and probably the best thing to do, I know it helps us, but is the videos are separate. It's difficult to do, some of them we will do some head-to-head, but when we are testing the 4-iron, 7-iron pitching wedge, to go back to back can be very difficult. That's why a lot of times we just test individual sets with the 4, the 7, and the pitching wedge. We did just get in the new Sub 70 stuff. We've got it, which will be going into play. We've tested, I believe, the Haywoods before
Yep.
as well. We just tested New Level not too long ago. So, the head-to-head can be difficult, but a lot of times the numbers are going to shake out pretty similar. But we are waiting to do a little bit of a direct-to-consumer wedges. That's kind of the next thing. We're kind of get some of that stuff in, and we'll be able to hopefully have that soon.
We'll do that for sure. Boys, what did we think of the PGA Tour event? Hilton Head is a different kind of track, and it normally produces a kind of a winner relative to that track.
I walked it. I was there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I walked 9 holes with Shane Lowry and Fleetwood and somebody else on Monday, and I walked with Wesley Bryan, I think, on Tuesday. It's a very, very tight golf course. It looks tight off the tee, but it's not. It's actually tight in the second shot. So you could hit 14 fairways and hit 0 greens.
Sounds like Mikey.
That's Mikey.
Because you might have a 125-yard shot that you got to slice around a branch that's hanging out in the middle of the fairway. The guy that Spieth won, he's the type of player that wins out there. He hits a substantial amount of free fairways, and he didn't putt very well. But
some of those short putts he missed. He could have won that thing at Cantor if he had made some of those 3-footers that he missed.
It seemed like nobody wanted to win it though.
I know.
It's a shame Cantley plugged his in the playoff, and he had no choice but to just smack it down.
What was he thinking though? Like a front pin.
He should have gone over. Yeah.
How much green did he have behind the stick? He should never have been thinking about that. He hit his drive. We've got to be 35 yards past wherever Spieth hit it. Spieth was hitting in. I got to think it was 6-iron or something.
He tried to tried to turn a 6-iron back into the wind, and the wind held it up. And Spieth hit the same club he hit in regulation, which I think was a 9-iron, and it was 20-yard difference where it landed.
Yep.
I wanted EVR to win, but
he had
beautiful human being.
He had it 1 through 9 holes, didn't he? And then he just let a few go in the back.
He did, and he probably just adrenaline or whatever. But he struck the ball for 63 holes. He struck the ball brilliantly, and kind of got away from him in the end. But he's a great player, so
he'll be back. Johnny, when are new wedges coming? Are they coming? Is
when
that
are
soon?
your new wedges coming? Like the Callaway wedges? I can't say that.
Is it soon?
Soon come. Soon could be anywhere between a month and the end of the year.
There you go. A 2022 new wedge.
But they're fire. But we don't know when they're coming. I can't say when they're coming. But they're on fire.
Let's see. Rich is excited to see the lads on Friday. Does club length impact low point in the swing? 100% it does, Rich. Absolutely. The shorter the club, the more vertical the swing plane will become. That will generally move low point further out in front. So it definitely does. One of the things that we test when we're really going through irons, not so much driver, we're not really using because we have the ability to move the tee height, so we can move low point relative to that. But when it comes to iron length, then definitely length plays a factor in low point.
Question from Victor. Hi guys, hope you had a great weekend. I had a quick question regarding shaft length for woods and hybrids. If you play shortened irons, should you shorten your hybrid and or woods?
You can. You just need to obviously. There's lots of different head weights and things like that you can play with, but you can, Victor. Just in the fit, there's going to be so many elements at play. It's just got to all mesh together. You called it earlier in the stew of what it is we're trying to kind of use as the variables. It could be one thing, but not a hard and set rule that you have to go shorter just because your irons are a little bit shorter.
Playing Pine Needles need another course. Pine Needles, Pinehurst area?
Mm-hmm. Mid Pines. Obviously, any of the Pinehurst 1 to 9 is pretty epic. What did you think was the best course out there? 2 aside, obviously. Number 2 aside. What did you think was the best course out at Pinehurst that you saw?
I was with you guys for 4, the new one, the Gil Hansen.
4 is pretty cool.
4's unbelievable. 4's are really cool because you're on the property and you there's a lot of views.
Yeah.
I still think the most fun you can have if you're just looking to like, kind of get an extra round, is 5.
Yeah,
I said it
like
before, I'll
5.
say it again. 5 was so much fun. I could see going around there a bunch of times with different half sets or full sets or just kind of messing around. It is like a mini 2. So you get to
the green complex.
you get to hit a lot of wedges and just have a lot of fun that way. Or, as I've said before, you cannot go wrong with the cradle and a few pops. So
Pinehurst at its finest.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, it is an interesting one, and I was going to segue to you for a little bit of John Ram chat. So are shaft fittings somewhat transferable across different drivers? Ram being someone who really doesn't mind changing his driver head, or has changed his driver head, but really doesn't like changing that shaft.
No, I mean, you can choose a variable. I mean, Rom doesn't change shafts because he doesn't want to, change another variable in his game. So, can a shaft transfer over? Yeah, I mean, Tiger's done it for years. Most of those Diamana D+ players have all transferred over. The head's going to change, though. You can't just go the head. Not every head is created equal. So, different center of gravities change. I know the center of gravity on our heads this year, the Rogue ST, is different than they were for Epic Speed. So the shaft's going to react differently to that head.
Correct.
So, it might mean extra internal weighting. It means moving the front and weight backs around a little bit to get them right for Rom. But ultimately, they build the head so he can stay in that shaft.
Right.
Is kind of how that works. So yeah, it is. And you can play the same shaft till you're dead. But, you got to make sure you have a fitter and a builder that know what they're doing.
Rocco's another interesting one, isn't he, when it comes to Rocco Mediate, when it comes to shafts and his choices. I mean, he likes something pretty heavy, pretty stout, not really a shaft that, if you looked at his numbers, you go, oh, that's the one for you.
Right. He's a testament to the shaft being a timing mechanism.
Correct.
He knows how to make a really, really stiff shaft kick in the way that he needs it to kick. So, he doesn't want the shaft to move at all. So he's relying on his body to square up the head, not the shaft to help him and droop and all that other stuff that comes into play. So he plays 7.0 rifles in his irons and, 6X or whatever in his driver, and he plays extra stiff. So does Lee Jansen, does the same thing. Very, very stiff parts, but that's just what they know how to play.
More of an old school thing, I think, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something of a bygone era that the weight of the shaft was just perfect for having that kind of smoother tempo. I think that the players nowadays are they're very different animals out there.
Well,
you must see it.
Yeah, I mean, is Rocco leaving meat on the table distance wise and performance? Probably.
He's said in the IG lives and things he's done. He's pretty much said that. Yeah, he's probably something that could hit further, but these I know exactly what they do.
Right, so he went into Nippon 105 X's a couple of years ago,
Right.
And he realized that he couldn't turn them over because they were too light. Like he just couldn't, they were light and super stiff, and he's like, I'm used to hitting a draw, and these things just wouldn't turn over. And it's just like, I don't know how to swing this shaft. Like I'm not wired to swing this shaft, so.
Definitely. Absolutely. I saw a few sort of questions about tour only golf balls, and there was a Chrome Soft 1-star or something like that. So the answer to that is no.
No, you can't, and you wouldn't want to. I mean, so we have another tour ball. It's called the Chrome Soft X Star. It's probably the spinniest ball on tour, which nobody at retail would want because it's fast off the tee, but it spins like crazy. And we have a couple guys on tour that play it. I played it for a little while because I don't spin it all that much with the driver. But
I had a few balls with it when we were in over Christmas or just before Christmas.
Yeah, it's cool. It spins a lot, but no, we don't. I mean, some of the things we have on the truck we don't sell retail because they're not going to help anybody. It's like they were designed for a specific player to help that specific player in a certain situation. And but the ones that you buy in the store, Chrome Soft X, are the same ones that Rom has, and the only difference is he's got a 10 on his, and those ones have 1 through 4.
Yeah, and with what we just tested with the 3 golf balls there's every golfer is really represented somewhere within those 3 golf balls.
Yes.
There's nothing you're missing. And if the price point is what you're, kind of not willing to pay, then you step down into the
we got a bunch of other golf balls.
Other DRC softs and things like that. So.
I would say our golf balls red, black, and silver for anybody that's a avid golfer that plays, maybe 20 handicap and down. Those 3 balls in there, and if you're a 20 handicap, you're probably playing quite a bit of golf. This one?
Yeah, I think it's good. There's a question about there was a Golf 3X article about total weight versus swing weight from Artisan, and I think it was in relationship to the like Schwartzel's clubs, because I know I wrote a piece about when he drilled out his mirror irons a couple of years ago, and so from a fitting perspective, it's just a matter of swing weight is the manipulation of head mass versus the rest of the golf club. Total weight is what the club just statically weighs. You can make the old adage is that you can make a broom swing weight at D2 if you really wanted to, but players are going to react differently. So you can have, for example, someone who kind of like Rocco, right? We use Rocco's example. He's got a 130 stiff shaft or 130 X flex shaft and a 105 X flex shaft. They can swing weight exactly the same. To him, he's more in tune to the
They're
total
Venus
weight.
and Mars, yeah.
Yeah, and so some players are going to be more sensitive to the total weight. That's a lot of times players that might be at the slower end of the swing speed spectrum. Not always the case, but as far as swing weight is concerned, most people are still going to feel total weight before they feel swing weight, and then swing weight is the culmination of all the components, because from a build perspective, you can fine tune and basically make anything work the way you want it to, but it's just a matter of how does that actually relate to the player, because if someone comes in and they swing their 6-iron at 70 miles an hour or 65 miles an hour, and they're playing half-inch under, you're not going to get it to D5 because they're not going to be using a 50-gram golf shaft, and it's just not going to work out. So the swing weight is the culmination of all the components in relative to that player's spec, and then total weight is what all those things weigh. I think they're both important, but I think swing weight is way overrated as far as what people kind of value it, because they think of a specific number, where in reality it can be anything.
And Mike Taylor from Artisan, who's the builder, designer, or whatever out there, he's a huge stickler on overall swing weight. Like for him, swing weight doesn't matter; it's the overall weight of the club. And if you sit down with him long enough, you could probably get a 90-minute sermon on swing weight versus overall weight, which is always an interesting endeavor. But
and from a build perspective, to your point, like I think head weight's the most important thing. Like head weight consistency from club to club is more important than like what that final swing weight is per club, because I know I have sets where my head weight's kind of all over the place, but like swing weights are all over the place, but I know like what my head weights are for the shaft that I'm using for the grip and all those things. All the components come together for that.
I put lead tape on everything anyway.
Yeah, I know
you do love
because it
lead
looks
tape.
cool.
All about being cool, boys. Where are we at there? So one coming in. Mikey, how are the LA Golf iron shafts?
Good. We did a little testing down in New York a few weeks ago with some customers. Yeah, I really like it. Actually, I know we have some LA Golf driver shafts to do some testing with. We have a couple iron shafts that just arrived. There's some putter shafts arriving.
Going in your putter?
Going in a putter just to test with. But no, I really like the product. I'm happy to bring it into the demo matrix.
They're getting a lot of buzz. People asking about their iron shafts.
Yeah, it's
I've
good
never
product.
tried them, but people have tried them and like them.
Mikey, what are you doing, man? Shouldn't you be building Mitchell's clubs?
They're in good hands with the best guys that we've got. You want me to build them? You'll get them in about 6 months.
Contrary to popular belief, Mikey doesn't build every club that goes through TXG.
No.
What?
Three nice builders.
Spoiler alert.
No. And Ian doesn't fit everybody at TXG?
No,
What?
no.
Fake news.
J-Dub, I've retired.
Same.
All right, what else you see in there, Michael? Keep looking.
So Cooper says, "Hey fellas, considering looking at a new putter starting my second season golfing, I tend to miss it. The cup to the right. Is there a telltale sign missed that says it might be time for a new putter? Thank you."
It's always time for a new
It's
putter.
always time for a new putter.
Oh,
It's always time for a new Odyssey putter.
Yeah, I mean the fact that you're missing to the right all the time. There's your biggest indicator you need a new putter. There's something in that rate of rotation, that release, or the aim that's causing you to obviously have that rightward start line. When we have obviously such little amount of loft, any amount of face angle open to your target line is not going to serve you well at all. We have, from a 12-foot putt, we have 1 degree open or closed to play with, and if we are more than that open or closed, we're missing the hole. So you probably want to head towards something a little bit more face balanced, something that ups the rate of rotation. That would definitely help. Have a look at length of putters as well. Make sure you're correctly you're the right distance away from the ball, that type of thing. But there's a lot to go at. Putter fits are are probably the most fascinating of all the fits, I think.
To add to that, because I saw a question about this, eye dominance. How does that relate? Have you found anything as far as eye dominance in putter, either have it be alignment or like style?
Well, very much on the, so if we look at the eye dominance, right-handed golfer, if you are a right eye dominant, which I would say most people I work with are right eye dominant, what that tends to do is you tend to actually be a little bit more pitched with your shoulders. Your head tends to sit on a little bit more of a tilt because you're not able to use your peripheral vision in your left eye nearly as much. Your right eye dominant wants to kind of slightly see down that target line a little bit more. So for those types of players, I mean, you know, the setup is absolutely key. Whether you're even going left hand low relative to your eye dominance can really change your shoulder pitch. So, you know, eye dominance really actually moves the whole thing around. I play around with that a lot. So one of the first things I do when I'm doing a putter fit with someone is establish, okay, pick a point in the wall, put the point inside the circle, close your right eye, close your left eye, and if it's if it's still inside the circle, you know, we know that's your dominant eye. Then I know from that perspective what side I'm able to kind of cue in order to get them set up properly.
Got it.
I just learned something new. I didn't realize that's how you figured out what eye you're.
You ever done that before?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's fun. Quick one.
make no mistake, I'll do that when I get home.
Right eye dominant.
Take
Right
that
eye.
plus, right? See it on the top line there? See that little plus sign?
Yeah.
Right? Put it inside, keep both eyes open, put it inside the circle.
Okay.
Close your right eye. Is
Right
it
eye.
still in the circle?
Nope.
Close your left eye, is it in the circle?
Nope.
You're blind.
Are you squinting? Let me raise that hat a wee bit. Right, so
Okay.
put it inside the circle.
Okay, it's inside the
Okay,
circle.
close your left eye.
Yeah.
Is it inside the circle?
Yeah.
Okay, with your right eye down.
Ah, bummer.
You're just a commoner like us.
I was hoping I was no eye dominant.
Yeah.
They both work perfectly.
Carl's asking if the golf season is open up here. It just snowed in northern Illinois.
Yeah, I heard.
We're forecasted for
tonight.
I got a
Is it a
message
lot?
that my drive home's gonna be miserable.
You're kidding. Tonight.
Yeah.
4 to 8
what is it,
centimeters.
April 18th?
4 to
I'm
8
ready for
centimeters.
this global warming to really kick in.
I get really grateful for this Callaway gig.
Yeah, no
when
kidding.
it's
Yeah.
snowing here in April, I'm like, God, I guess I'm going to go to Florida. Or
Heat it up.
somewhere else.
5-6, around 5-6 p.m. tonight, lads.
How much do they say?
Lots. Build a snowman. Immense.
Very good. I'll be building a snowman.
All right. What's the lowest spinning head Callaway has ever made?
In my opinion, probably either Maverick Double Diamond at 440, which is obscenely low in spin. I think Epic Star, the OG Sub-Zero, was really low spin. We've substantially gone up in spin since those drivers, so I would say Maverick Double Diamond, or whatever they call it, Double Diamond, and then the OG Epic Star Max was the first time that we had brought out Jailbreak. If you didn't swing at 115 and hit up on it, that driver, you're digging holes.
Yeah. This is a funny one. Does TXG have a Rombax P95X? I've been looking for that shaft for 3 years. It is gone the way of the dodo.
That's a great.
What year
shot.
did that
You
go?
have one. You have
That's
one in your-
before my time.
Yeah, that was, Rory played those for the longest time.
I've got one in my 5-wood
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Those are not around anymore.
I remember a Rombax. Is that the blue and gold one?
No, that was
That
a
one,
Ros-
no.
that was a
That
Type
was
X.
proper.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
With those like paint splattery finish, that was really or the paint like the
No, the
lightning
P95 was just.
that was the red one. That's the one I got
I
right now.
love that shaft. It was counterbalance.
What is it? So which
Very
one? P95.
counterbalance.
So what was it? P95. Yeah. You can. I've heard that the Ventus Red, when like an 8X or like some of the tour ones, you can get really close to that.
I told you that.
Was it you that told me that? Yeah.
It's
you
the closest thing they have to P95.
yeah. So for the guys who've had that, in
that
the
sounds
fairway,
about right, for sure.
yeah.
Scott's saying Rombax circa 2011. Yeah, it was a while ago.
I wasn't in the golf industry.
Made famous by Rory and Adam Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, absolutely. Rory loved those in the fairway woods.
Was it that 906 that he just pounded those like old Titleist ones?
Yeah, and then he played them actually. I think he actually still played them
He had him in his Nikes.
in his Nikes as well.
Yeah.
I think when he hit that famous fairway wood into 18 to win the Irish Open.
Yeah, that was a
That
Rombax.
was a Rombax. Yeah.
Golf 007's asking, when will you guys get your hands on the new PXG Gen 5 irons, or will you be testing them out?
We will be testing them out. Yeah, we absolutely will. So I believe, I think, was it April 24th or something? Somewhere in that, I was talking to Nick at Club Champion about it the other day, and I think there was a date around late April was being touted, but the pictures are out.
They had the media event
at the weekend, wasn't it?
A couple weekends ago.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited.
Me neither.
I used to get invited to those things.
Come on, Bob.
Come on, Bob. Just invite me so I can say no. I can respectfully decline. Make me feel special.
Okay. Quick one maybe. How often do you see no change in ball flight even when you've changed a club build? Someone just hits the same thing over and over again regardless
Of what you give them?
Yeah.
Better players can do that. They can override the changes. They find a way to make the ball fly through a window in a way that they just want to see it. You will not find a higher handicapper do that. And that's why we always say, people say, "Am I good enough to be fit?" You are not good enough to not be fit.
There you go.
Right? That's a better way to look at it. The better players, Gordon Sherry, who won the British Amateur back in, I think it was 95.
That is just an absolute blast from the past.
He was the boy. We were watching some golf the other day, and I think he was
Was he like 6'8"?
6'8"?
Yeah, he was
so he and I were assistant pros together. The same club. Yeah.
Because I remember when he came up, 95, and this is before the Tiger Mania started.
It was.
They were like,
he's
our Tiger.
He's our Tiger.
Yeah,
he was. So that year he won the British Amateur 95, played with Jack and Tom Watson in his practice round at St Andrews, at the John Daly St Andrews, and he got a hole-in-one playing with Jack and Tom, and famous picture of him like with these two, made them look like little boys, and they've signed his golf ball and stuff.
What is he doing now?
Gordon, I still talk to him. I saw him at Augusta in 2015. He lives in the same town as I'm from.
How do we get him in here and banging? Like, is he
comes to Canada a fair bit. Danny King up at Magna's a good friend of his.
That just made my day.
Yeah.
Gordon Sherry reference.
Oh, Gordy. And I have no idea what the question was as we went on a Gordy.
It's all right.
So, but...
Do good players see a difference in ball flight?
Gordy had a 12 degree. well done. Anchor does there. So Gordy had a 12 degree Callaway C4, and so we were talking about how high it would go and things like that. And he's like, it doesn't. I'm like, no, it does. It's high lofted. It's going to go high and stuff like that. He's like, watch this. Literally just went out and he hit his driver. I remember what it was. Maybe at the time it was maybe like a GBB Pro Series 9 degree with, something in it, UST Pro Force at the time or something, and literally started peeling shots off of these two drivers, identical ball flights. And he's just leaning the shaft on the C4, big Bob Torrance guy, so he's just feeling it. And so better players generally will override the technical changes much more than higher.
You get Rom does stuff like that too. If you hand him something that doesn't fit him at all, eventually he'll start hitting it like Rom.
Yep. When will the next Marques Brownlee video come out? Love the first one. We're going to see probably 2 of those this week.
I believe so, yeah. We've got the driver queued up for tomorrow, which is exciting because I know we talked about in the iron fit, his speed, like the amount of speed he has, the athleticism that he has. And we see that as well as, won't spoil anything, but his ability to cook one when he really wants to is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got some speed.
Having watched some of the drafts, thanks to video team, I think people are really going to enjoy seeing it, and we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun working with him. Thanks to everyone who's watched the first one already.
Yeah, it's done well. That one's done very well.
It's what I think makes him so relatable to a lot of golfers is not necessarily the swing speed, but you see his ability, he can understand what he can interpret what he's doing.
Yeah.
This is where I hit it on the face. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hit a draw. I'm trying to hit this shot. But the technical knowledge is not there. That's where obviously, you guys work so well together because you're supplying the technical knowledge. He's applying what the golfer's feeling. And I think that's what a lot of people experience in fits, regardless of handicap, is someone sees, oh, I felt like I did this. And it's like, okay, that happened. But what's the technical side of how I can improve that? And that's where truthfully, I was here watching it, and I wasn't like overhanging the fitting, but it was cool to see him give feedback and supply that, because I think that's one of the things that, when Mike and I are hitting shots, we are able to technically explain it, right? A lot of golfers aren't able to do that, and to see how that works back and forth in a fitting is what most people, like you guys watching at home, are going to experience when you're in a fit, because fitter is there to help with the technical side of these things. So to not only educate, but also help you become better.
I'm going to selfishly ask a question of you guys and you guys. What's the best rangefinder out there? Who makes the best rangefinder in golf?
You're the tech geek.
Whoever sends me one. Honestly, like I've used a Nikon for a while. Did you still got my other one? I forgot to ask
I
you.
don't know where it is.
It's
in the trunk.
I got a Nikon. Nikon makes
Golf
camera
bag, that's
optics.
what it
So as far as optics are concerned, they're really clear. Leopold. I've got an old Callaway that still works really well. It's actually a Nikon one, just a rebranded Nikon one from almost a decade ago.
Right.
I like the Archos Smart Caddy.
Yeah, I mean, I to be honest, I use that for everything. But I do want a rangefinder.
I have a
any
Precision
rangefinder.
Pro. Well, I had a
I got a
Precision Pro
Precision Pro
before
too,
my
yeah.
clubs got stolen out of my car in
Who
LA.
makes that one? Precision Pro?
Precision Pro.
Yeah.
Well, that's the name of the
yeah.
company.
I have one.
They're pretty.
White.
They're pretty. Yeah, it's like grayish white. It's like no, it's
Mine's
like gray.
green. Mine's green and
Mine's,
green.
mine's gray and was gray and green before it got clipped.
sleep.
But the Bushnell ones on tour, most of the guys have Bushnells.
Yeah, I mean, I had a Bushnell. Mine got. Doesn't matter where mine went, but I need a new Bushnell for sure.
See, I don't use them though. Like,
What's wrong with yours? Did it break?
I don't have one. Oh no, the black and white one. That one's old as hell's.
I love that thing.
Do you?
How much you want for it?
It's yours.
It's so good. It's so classic.
look at you walking
old.
yourself into a new range.
Do you remember the Bushnell 1500?
1500 pin seeker. Yeah.
The massive one with the big button on top,
That
took a
was-
9-volt battery.
Do you remember when people used to do math from the 150 marker, walking off, go 150? Okay, that's what I used to do.
I remember that's all I wanted. All I wanted was a Bushnell 1500 because everyone had one on tour, and then I finally saved up to buy those things. I never let it out of my sight.
Just to clarify, I use Archos religiously on every shot. I just like a rangefinder as well.
Yeah, so do I. I probably leaned more towards a rangefinder.
Speaking of Archos, remember, we have partnered with them. So if you are looking to get your set up for the year, you can go to if you go to our social media, in the link tree, you can click the link that goes directly to the affiliate. And what it does is it gives you 45-day free trial with sensors, and it gives you 50% off the option to do 50% off the link, which is the wearable thing that you throw on your lead pocket, right, whether you're right or left-handed, which is a really good deal. And I'm a user. I really like the thing. I've used it for I think 3 years now.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to offer that opportunity through Archos, so you do get that for free. Still, after the 45-day trial, you have the opportunity to purchase the full subscription. But or if you just go to Archos and you go to activate, it's TXG22 is the code. You gotta remember that.
You got to do it.
And the reason I like it is because it's brand agnostic. It's just it doesn't matter what comes in your bag. Know your distances and play better golf.
What does
That's
Archos
a hell of a
cost
commercial you
month?
just did for
Hey,
Archos.
Jamin, but it's not. You're loaded. You don't need to worry about what an Archos.
You don't pay for
You
clubs.
pay for nothing. You come in here, you touch up a bit of paint. There's still a bit to be done. Jamin.
up. My God,
He's
he
a
hasn't.
painter.
Are you a painter?
Well, he is a painter. Yes, that's
Yeaman and
Yeaman's
Son.
son. He's the son part, and Yeaman's Scott.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Picasso.
They couldn't tell you the difference between two different colours of grey, two different shades of grey.
That's your fault, not ours.
50
I've
shades
heard
of
there's
grey.
at least
That's
50
you,
shades
Jamin.
of
50 shades of what?
Exactly.
How does Archos change the swing weight? Well, you're not gripping right on the Archos.
If you're holding it, it matters. If you're not holding it, it doesn't, and you shouldn't be holding it because it's loose. That's the reality. I mean, we're not factoring Archos in when we're factoring the weight of your golf clubs. Trust me. If you hold it externally, which you should,
To read those.
not a problem.
Over here squinting and trying to read all the questions.
I'm still baffled at how many questions you get.
It's a wild scene.
It's a wild scene.
Ross is asking Johnny Wunder, getting better results out of Epic Speed than Rogue ST Max LS. What head would you recommend?
So he has tried both drivers, and Epic Speed is better for him. I would play the one that's better. I mean, just
Play the
because.
one that's best.
Yeah, always. I mean, I want to sell you a new driver all day long, but if you're hitting Epic Speed better than Rogue ST Max LS, which are two completely different drivers, mind you, then I always want you to play the driver that you're going to hit the best. So
And year to year, there's not going to be huge differences in terms of like a ball speed jump or anything like that.
No.
So if you've had a year of playing it under your belt, Ross, and you've got comfortable and you like it, well, it's no wonder you're still hitting it, as well as anything else you've tried.
Yeah, the selling point that we have over the biggest separator now between this driver and the ones in the past is this is the most stable driver we've ever made. So your heel hits and toe hits across the line are going to be a lot better than they ever were. Mm-hmm. That's where we got better.
Someone asked, so to go back to the Archos thing quickly, someone asked, would someone like Mac benefit from using Archos who hits a lot of shots? My answer, they eliminate like crazy deltas on the. I don't know how it works. That's way beyond me as far as the technical information
you
side
can
of
dive
things,
into it. You can actually dive in and throw out some of the ones if you go into the app.
Because I was looking at my I just set mine up on my clubs and I was going through and I was putting it in. And it'll show like your longest, your averages, all that stuff.
So if you go into say 6 iron, right, and you want to go into kind of click on basically how many shots that you've hit.
Because I know you can it won't count a punch out. Like if you punch out with a 4 iron, it's not going to tell you hit your 4 iron 40 yards or something.
No, it's just going to notice that you didn't. It's not close to your normal numbers.
So there's a punch out, right? There's 6 iron for me. There's a punch out. There's another punch out. That must have been a rough day. There's a couple more kind of accurate ones. There's one right into teeth of the wind, obviously, and then there's one right downwind. So yeah, it works out the average.
Yeah, and then it just comes down to you as the player to decide which club to hit.
Yes. I think there was a follow-up on that from Ross on what head would be most similar to his epic speed.
Rogue ST Max would be the apples to apples comparison. They're basically going to have the same characteristics, except the Rogue ST Max is going to be a little bit better out of the heel and out of the toe.
Do we think Volky will ever make a full face wedge?
No.
Nope.
Not happening.
Because the best place to hit is out of the middle.
Absolutely, it's a great reason. Do you use a full face?
I have. I had the one that we came out with. Is it called full toe?
Yeah.
Or is that the TaylorMade one? I should know that.
High toe.
High toe. So full toe. Yeah, and I loved it. I loved the 60.
Full face or full toe?
Big toe.
Full toe.
Big toe.
Big toe.
We should know that, but
I thought that was fantastic. Now my job is kind of to test every grind, every wedge. So I played it for a little while, and then it was on to the next wedge. So, but yeah, I think they're fantastic wedges.
Boys, what's your lowest score on 18 holes? Michael, what's your lowest 18?
73.
73. RP?
67.
67. What was that to par?
70.
Okay, 3 under.
Yeah, 3 under.
Solid.
67 on Indian Ridge, so 5 under.
And I was 66 on a par 73. That was my best.
Holy!
Yeah, that was a good one.
7 under.
Mm-hmm. My best ever round though. It was in match play. It was 7 under through 13, walking onto a par 5, and never got a chance to play a 495 yard par 5
against Gordon Cherry.
Did you Stephen Ames him?
No, I was. What was it, through 6 holes? I was 4 under through 6 and 1 up. We had a heck of a match.
Wow. Can I say something though? When you play, like when I shot 67, which was 3 years ago, because I shot a bunch of 68s, a bunch of 69s, but when you shoot scores like that, you're like, why don't I do this every time?
I know.
Like it's not like you're just grinding to shoot 67. It's like, oh, that was kind of easy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
You see that wedge, the camel toe? It's a real wedge.
I have seen that.
That video is so good.
It's not USGA conforming,
Yeah.
apparently.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, the Club
What's
Pro
that guy?
guy.
Club Pro guy?
The Punch Out Club.
Johnny Wunder, who is the PJ Pro you can outdrive consistently? Who are you calling out?
Rocco. I'd pound it by Rocco. I'll say this. I would say my ball speed numbers and everything probably match up to somebody like...
You keeping up with Kiz?
I could probably hit it up with Kiz.
He's an efficient 165.
Yeah, but
isn't
it's 165, and he's hitting the center of a guy's forehead. So maybe I could keep it up with him. Bryce Garnett, I'd probably hit it past him, but he hits it straight as an arrow. Ryan Moore, I'd probably hit it past him, I would imagine, or hit it up with him.
Ryan Moore, Cali guy.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Learn something new every day.
There's a few. Like I played with Minwoo Lee a couple times, and he hits it 30 by me. So
he's got some speed.
Yeah, he's
Did
smoking.
he have the stingers going? He can hit him.
He's got them all. Like,
Stinger.
like what he did on the front nine at Augusta, shooting 30. That was like you're gonna see more of that. He's still trying to figure out how to play in America.
Yeah.
Like he's still figuring that out. But once he does, he'll be top 20. Top 20, top 15 in the world, no problem.
Let's see. Steelman has an 18-year-old son that is 145 pounds and can get to 178 ball speed.
God bless that boy.
Get the lad a fish
I'll
supper.
be right back. I'm gonna go make sure my kids are
Fish supper.
So I'd get him. Get him a big old steak.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, lads. 45 minutes in. We've got time for 3 or 4 more questions. We're peaking right now in the audience.
Here's one. What's your current swing thought? I think that's
You
oh
don't
no.
want to know.
How long do you have? Current swing thought for me is low hands at address, steep backswing. That's as far as I'm willing to admit. So it's going on in my mind. There's a few more things, but low hands at address, steep in the backswing.
I'm just trying to get this left shoulder under my chin. That's literally all
Steeper,
I think about.
a little bit more that
just
way.
Just turn. So I feel like
More turn, deeper turn.
Deeper turn. When I do that, I hit it good. So.
I just got to start
I've got
moving.
a great thought for you for that. I saw your video last night.
The spoon drill?
Little thought.
Oh, you do?
No. It's a lot to do with how your lead arm rotates and stuff like that.
If my lead arm goes like
Yeah,
this.
exactly. So if we can get
We're about to
you-
get real lost in the sauce here.
right, take that, keep it in that position, right?
Yeah.
And then just keep it in that position. Turn up to the top of your backswing.
Like yeah.
Right. So you cannot do that. So you will want so do that again.
Yeah.
Okay. Do that again. So yeah, and then tip it out. So look how much your hand just travelled without doing anything with your torso.
Yeah.
So that right now is your golf swing. Right. So you're getting a lot of range by how much you rotate that lead arm. If you keep that under, you somewhat lock that in position, and then you have to get more turn from there.
It's like what's the girl on the LPGA tour? You seen her get like she gets out of dress and her elbows are like this. Like it's crazy.
She doesn't have guns like I do. Though.
She's like locked in like this, and then the way she turns, it's really cool to see. Like it almost like locks it in like every time it gets set up.
I had to put that back to Titleist golf ball. I couldn't.
Burning your hand.
Yeah.
Your swing thought right now?
Keep the club face closed and de-loft it. Hit it. Feel like you're hitting everything into the wind.
Punchy.
Feel like you're hitting everything into the wind. Keep it simple.
Mikey,
Just
front loading it,
top of the backswing, you're getting so hard left, it's not even funny.
swinging left.
Swinging left,
Really?
hard, down and left.
Just left to California. Just
Yeah.
Left. Good for you.
Oscar says I may have just changed his life. How many people just reached for a golf ball right there, put it in the palm of their hand, and start kind of going that way? A few. Okay.
I'm literally waiting for one of my kids to run through here
through.
crying. And
Love it. They're welcome. Okay, guys, we're going to love you and leave you. We've got a few more videos to do this week. We've got more with Marques. We've got more with Mac Boucher. We've got a fairway would fit with Mac. We've got what was the other one? I forgot it last night. I forgot it again today with Mac.
Max?
Yeah, Mac. Yeah.
Mac, yeah. No, it was Fairywood, and then no, you guys. I think I left that day. I think I left early.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. The driver.
Yeah.
The driver draw
Yeah.
versus cut.
can I say something about him really quick? I for sure thought his last name was Mac Boucher.
Everyone-
not
everyone-
Boucher.
Yeah, Boucher.
And I was actually quite disappointed when I found out it was Boucher.
Yeah.
Like he just lost all of his like
I
swag.
know.
Bobby
He could have been
Boucher.
Bobby Boucher's long lost.
that would have been great.
Yeah.
What a fun name to say, Mac Boucher.
Boucher.
No, doesn't exist.
Yeah, does not exist. All right, guys. Yeah, looking forward to a good week. Tons and tons of good stuff coming. We're currently looking for you guys to tell us who you like us to collaborate with this season. We've got a load of guests coming on the channel. We are interested in who you guys are interested in us collaborating with.
Couple trips.
Couple of trips, yeah.
To show you guys a new tour truck, which debuts this week, which
I
you'll
know.
see very soon.
Where's that,
So
Louisiana?
Yeah.
it's a-
The
just
team
a-
game.
It's just a monstrosity.
Okay, when it comes to the team event, Ryan Palmer
Uh-huh.
knows how to pick people.
Who's he got this week?
Scheffler.
Scheffler.
Yeah,
And
he
last
had
year
Ram.
it was wrong.
Yeah. He ran the previous 2 years, I think, or something.
This guy knows how to pick partners. Let me tell you. He knows how to keep. He's playing the smart. I want to keep my card. Let's make some money.
Smart man. Drew Cooper, Drew the Ballmaster. Yeah, Drew's coming on.
He's booked a flight, I think.
Rex Shields, collab with Good Goods. Yeah, tons of goodies. Okay. Oh, the boys. The
boys.
The Bears are getting restless.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Johnny.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna go check out my kids.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.